Today we're talking about something more powerful than any technique that you may think of, yet most of us don't pay attention to it. It can dissolve any circumstances that you may be facing right now faster than anything else, and according to Neville Goddard, it takes one day of doing it to change your entire world. I can sit quietly and carry on the most heavenly conversation, and I know it will come to pass. No power in the world will stop it if I'm faithful to it. These are the words of Neville Goddard in his rare lecture Inner Talking from 1965. And of course today we are talking about inner conversations. If you feel moved to try it, it requires little of your time, persistence, and mental diet. But before I get into it, hello everyone. If you're new here, my name is Elle. Welcome to my channel. If you're in need of coaching, go to the description box. The information is there. But right now, let's get into today's topic. If I did it for a whole day, someone said if you did it for 3 minutes, you would change your entire world. Well, maybe you would. I will say if you did it for a day, become completely aware of what you are saying inwardly and change it to conform the wish fulfilled for a day. I do not know any power in this world that could uproot that tree from bearing exactly what you want. You couldn't, really. I have said this many times before, that if there is one thing and one thing only that you could control, then control your inner conversations, your inner talking, because this is going to change anything for you. And there is one example of a client of mine. This became my go-to example when it comes to how important inner conversations are and how careful you should be about what you are entertaining in your inner world. The client was already in a relationship, but that relationship seemed to be going downhill. They would argue about anything, the silliest thing that you can think of, they would start arguing. And it was not fun, it was not pleasant to be in that situation, and she was afraid that they would break up. She was working on her self-concept. She had affirmations, she had scenes that she was visualizing, but nothing seemed to be working, and she had no clue. What am I doing wrong? Then I asked her one simple question. Do you have arguments with your partner in your head? I remember that moment as if it was today. Because when I asked her the question, you could see that she was having her aha moment. It took her a few seconds to say anything. And then she told me, yes, I do have a lot of those. I do have a lot of arguments and discussions with my person in my mind. And sometimes we do a lot of these things. We affirm, we visualize, we script about that amazing relationship, about that amazing life. And during the day, what we are doing is contradicting ourselves. We are holding on to the version of a person that we don't desire to experience, that we actually want to change. In her inner world, she was feeding, she was entertaining a version of her person that was arguing, that was discussing, that was not understanding, that was not patient, that was always attacking her with words. So that was what she was manifesting. She was very honest with me. She told me that she understands now where the situation is coming from, but it would be very difficult for her to change that because she was using those arguments to vent. And the question is always, what do you desire more? I like to say, do you desire to be right or to be happy? You have to choose, because otherwise you are contradicting yourself. If you are affirming for something that you want to change, but in your inner world, you are entertaining the past stories, the past assumptions, the past version of that person, then what you're manifesting is the same thing all over again. The need to vent, the need to be right, the need to win an argument is coming from our old version, the old man. with the old stories, with the old assumptions, and with the old results, the old reality. Neville, in his lecture, Inner Talking, reminded us to put off former conversations which are corrupt. In your case, maybe it's not the arguments. Maybe you're not arguing with your person, but you may still be entertaining stories and assumptions from the old man, while at the same time wondering, why am I getting the same results as the old man? If the old man, the past version of you, is connected with old thoughts and old assumptions, then the new man, the new version of you, has to be connected with new thoughts and new assumptions. And I know it can be very satisfying to hold on to stories of the past, okay? To feel sorry about yourself, to have arguments with your person in your mind. But if you want to change your reality, if you want to change your experience, then something has to change. You must connect yourself with the wish fulfilled in your imagination, in your inner world. And Neville, with the knowledge that he had, the experience that he had, he also said that he had to pay attention to what was happening in his inner world every moment. And if it was not aligned with the wish fulfilled, he would just bring himself back to that wish fulfilled, without judgment, without being angry or mad or disappointed. He would just do that. You don't have to judge yourself because the old man's trying to creep in. It is an exercise. It starts as an exercise. And then you do this over and over again, and it becomes a habit. You notice when you are entertaining something that you shouldn't be. You guys know that we are shifting every second. So becoming aware of what's happening in your inner world is going to allow you to achieve your goals, to experience the life that you want to experience faster and with consistency. And as for my client, well, she could not believe that such a simple thing would change her entire life. It took some time for her to stop having those arguments. But then she could see her new self-concept kicking in. And everything changed for her in her relationship. Give up the old man, the habits of the old man, the thinking, the assumptions, the stories, and fill your inner world with the stories of your new self. Speak blessing, speak positivity, speak love. And if the old man come to visit, just tell him, you belong in the past. You are not going to shape my future. You are not going to shape who I am. It's always about what you are choosing. You have choice, but you have to hold on to what you really desire. And it's important to let go of what is not suiting you. You got this, guys. That's it from me. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to talk soon. Bye-bye.